and try not to travel above into the ceiling or beyond the walls. It gives you practice.
And that's your first layer.
This is the scratch.
Oh.
The first layer is what we're going to do now, and then the final layer.
But this is that.
It's the same material.
Now this is the scenario that I have with that guy.
Right.
Same steps, scratch.
Ya se va. Okay, bueno, gracias. Okay, que le vaya bien.
See how I'm putting about a 1/4 inch? That's all I'm doing. Whatever it takes just to get it started. I can put a control joint in the mix as I'm troweling it, to try to break it up to make it easier to get off the trowel. So meaning I have all this mix on here. Steve, I can just put a control joint and then it'll break right where I want it to. This is the reason we call it a bond coat, because I'm putting it on there. See how thin you went? See how you hurt? Yeah, take the whole thing again, right back over that whole spot. A little bit lighter than that even. See how, yeah, that's still about 1/8 of an inch. And notice how you already went, and that's your 3rd time going over. There you go. No, that's okay. I used to do it too. I used to play and play and play.
They will take up right off the bat, man. Give it a video.
Nice and easy. There you go. Get the rest of it. You're right down the bottom.
So in over to the house.
No, go back over.
Go back over. Is that like the old?
Yeah, there's no need to ever hit it twice once you put a layer on there. Because time is money, and you're just trying to get on there. There you go. Perfect. Easy. Easy. No, I'm pulling it away. Watch this. See how you're not? I'm not hearing that level of scratch. Start the next one.
I got it.
Perfect. A little bit less. Perfect. You want to start at the top and work your way down. There you go. Anywhere on the wall you want, stamp them out, overlap them, doesn't matter. Straight on, straight off. Use the handles if you want to. If you want to put one hand on, what happens if you have straps on both sides of the stamp and you just haphazardly put your hands in the strap and take one out?
Yeah.
Wait. Especially on the dry stacks. But if I put it in my hands and torque one just a little bit, put my other hand back into the top of the strap, torque it just a little bit, keep it level. Stamp, stamp, stamp one side, stamp, stamp, stamp the other, take it off, move on to the next. If I want to, I can put it up, hold it in the middle, and I can stamp all around, and then just take it off. Okay, I don't have to just hold it in the straps. As long as I know that I can maintain keeping the stamp centered and keep it without moving, we'll be okay.
So what's the purpose of the 3 different stamps?
To have 3 different textures. The purpose of having 3 different stamps is to have 3 different textures on the surface.
So you're more random looking.
More random than if I just had one skin that I was turning throughout the entire thing. This gives me a variety of texture is all it does.
Same depth on all this.
This is all about 3/8 to almost 1/2 inch depth within the textures of the stamp.
And how many sets do we have to use for that type of texture?
For wall texture skin, we only have 1 set. You only need 1 set because you can create all types of textures for full texture boulders, for hand carves, and different scenarios. As far as all the stamps, We have 16 different stamps that you can choose from varieties of vineyard stones, field stones, cobblestones, dry stack configurations, from a more of a sharp edge dry stack and rounded mountainous stones to shallow stones where you're using less material to get in, get out quicker on brick. We don't carry brick stamps, but we can create brick, and we can
Take it, that's what my mom's got or something like that,
where they take it off.
Problems with moisture coming through the slab
Right.
this way, because they did put visqueen down back in the day. And this guy, he did something like that, he did a brick pattern and pulled it up. He did stop moisture about it.
So I'm gonna.
So this is the release you put on there?
It is.
Yeah, that's right, you put it on there.
Oh. So, if somebody will release these other two stamps, I'm just going to stand somewhere, put it up, boom, and on the other side, come out. I can go anywhere
Right.
that I want, turn it into stamp, and create texture. I don't have to have my hand in the actual handles, as long as I hold it, and it come off wherever I want. If I want to put my hand in the handles, then I'll put it in the handles, keep them uniform, put one in, stamp one side. Coming off. Okay? And that's just with one stamp. Okay? I'm turning it to give it a random look. And now we'll use. I think what's happened.
Plugged up.
No, I think this
Yeah, the hose in
came off.
there.
Right. So, first thing you want to do is have you some good carving tools.
I'm sorry, Greg, when you,
I'll start all over.
can you just get in front of the camera and tell me what you're going to do again?
Okay, now what we're going to do after having stamped all of this surface with texture and deciding this is not the way you wanted to leave it, you want to hand carve it into a scenario. You need your hand carving tools, which is a joint carving tool, a banding material around a dowel rod, helps feed through like butter, and a chip brush, an inexpensive chip brush to help just kind of brush the joints to bring a few of the sands to the surface. Your feet bothering you?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to come through, and we're going to border the project first. Just as quick as we can. And notice how I'm keeping it shallow. If I hold the tool like this, I'm going to dig deep. And if I hold it shallow, I can just skim the surface off, which is all I'm looking to do. And we're not trying to create what we created.
So outside drop, you know.
That's exactly right. And then once I have this, then I can come back and clean all this material off the tape and the plastic and come back. Alright, so now I have my border done. All I'm looking to do now is first, and you're going to clean out your tool because you're going to have a few fibers that get caught in there. But the first thing I'm going to do is get my stone configuration. So I'm going to just come right down here. Okay? See how I'm doing? I'm just creating large the small one.
$12.25 to $12. See that number never changed.
I got my pattern, right? You could have stayed with a medium, that's large, one little small one. It's a section where the guy with the mortar, he said, you know what? Come over in there, I'll put a little tiny one. So don't overthink it.
Number's tied into that.
And then just come back now,
Change when I
because
change
this
that
to me, nice texture, stones don't look real.
number. Unless I go up there.
But if you hold this lightly,
Enter, then it
you
changes.
come back and just,
Right, now it becomes some character.
that's it, that's all you're creating. And this is more of an ashlar pattern, squares and rectangles versus that random stone, kind of a flagstone look that you have.
Minus the cost.
All of these, right?
No, just cost.
They can do the same thing on horizontal, right?
So you understand what I'm doing? Does somebody want to come in and feel what it's like to carve this?
Like you're done.
You're gonna open them up, all I do is the line, so you're just gonna, I'll be right here with you, so you don't go too deep. Hold it shallow, and just kind of knock some of those, that's perfect, man. That's perfect.
I don't know, Steve, maybe 20 years ago you should have found
That's
this.
what I did. But when I changed that number, change it to 1250.
So can you imagine how fast you can shoot it, stamp it, carve it,
Yeah.
seal it, color seal it? Yep. Where are you gonna go get those stones at? What quarry? This is what we need to get out there. Now, we're not trying to create more stones.
Well, I just.
It's okay, put it down. No, that's great. But what you have here, you stand back,
Yeah, you got 3 lines.
now you got 3 lines that are saying, so what you can do, that's perfect. Take this,
Like no.
make another one right here. And boom, that's done. Now you just use them just to come in and just kind of open up the grout joints a little bit. A little bit, not even, yeah, just a little ice cold. That's good.
You know, some of you want wide, some of you want narrow, right?
Sir?
Some of you want wide, some of you want narrow.
Yeah, and that's all preference.
It's all because of the size of the rock and how much mortar it takes to fill it.
Yeah, what most masons will say, and I won't argue with any masons, but what I've learned over time is rule of thumb is 2-finger grout joints, 3-finger intersections. So 2-finger grout joints, 3-finger intersections, and the reason being is what they say is either you want a dry stack or you want mortar. If you want a dry stack, then you need the shadow to be able to be seen from 20, 30 feet, 40 feet away. If you want a mortar joint, you have to have it wide enough to see it from 40, 50 feet away. If you make these carves, if you just carve shallow, just a half inch or more or closer, once you get a certain distance, it all comes together and you can't tell that there's a mortar joint. Do you understand what I mean? I thought maybe I was confusing you. That's a dry stack. See how you can see the shadows of what we've created? That's how you can see it from afar. If I hadn't have created those shadows, it would have just blended together. You wouldn't have been able to see anything.
D2.
That is correct. So, that's all you're doing. Come in here. I mean, you can come into a stone,
That's D2.
chip it,
Everything changes except that one
Chip
number
it.
right there.
I mean, it's just, it's endless, so don't overthink it too now.
Right.
Don't get into doing so much of it that you're just spending too much time carving. Just get what you need to do done
Yeah.
and move on.
Know when you're finished.
You do all this with custom
It
commission.
changes everything but that one number. If I go
Well,
and change
first,
that one,
before that, you're gonna know before you even do this, what style of stone they want, and that's what you would create. Not many customers just tell you to go at it. If they do, most of the time they're a friend, and you know you're using them as practice, but most of the time, you're gonna have a picture in mind of what you're gonna create.
it's
They'll
no
show
big
you
deal.
pictures
I've
of
already
a lot of times of what they like to see.
fixed
And
tablets
since
too.
we have photos, numerous photos of this type of work to be able to use in your portfolio, to not necessarily say you've done, but that you can show this to be created.
Is it Flex-C-Ment.com?
It is now, you got the chip roast, right? So You like the way this looks? Did you change anything, Wayne?
No, I think it looks good.
Rows, except for that one.
You want a customer standing over you while you're doing
That's just the weirdest thing.
I'm not the kind of person
I don't mind you looking.
that bothers. It doesn't bother
Don't
me.
bother me either.
But if you have a problem with it, you need to help them understand that this is a process.
Yeah, sometimes we
Trust
get.
up to the end. Let me finish what I'm doing. Because if you get caught up in trying to change colors and everything for people, you end up not doing what you originally intended to do. It's a process where it needs to go all the way through final seal for them to see what you're trying to do.
I know what I do.
It's brought up and they'll go.
That looks awful, you know, and then they start going in and everything else.
Chip brush,
And polishing up the groove.
that's all I'm doing is polishing up. See how it brings a little bit of the sand and the lightness to it? That's it.
That's all you gotta do to fix it.
So just brush it lightly. You don't have to brush real hard. Just watch those sands expose. And hit them all. Here you go. Steve.
Go ahead.
It's too
Right, Wayne?
fix it. You can't do it
See
right.
how I like that? Now, if you're the guy that likes it, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just giving you another.
Right, that brush is kind of, you know, you could even wet it a little bit.
Right?
Yeah, there's some kind of relational calculation going on there.
And stamp some texture
Right.
as I go. But I've created enough depth. And what you want to do is find opposite corners to do the same thing in. Just come in, take a little bit away, smooth it out. You don't even have to use your texture skin. That's a shadow. That's all you need is staggered stone, dry stacked stone. It may not be as drastic as that because I don't have 2 inches on there, but you need to be able to teach these guys you can use 3/4 inch of material even, or 1 inch, and still create really neat looks. So we'll come in down the corner here. I'm not wasting a bunch of material. I'm not taking a huge amount off the surface. And trust me, guys want to be able to offer, I'm not using any more material here than what we're doing for the dry stacks, and I can still charge $15, $20 a square foot and make very good money and do their grottos, do their wine cellars, do retaining walls. I mean, how many people would kill for a dry stack like this on their retaining wall? And all it takes is carving it up, and I'm talking a lot, and then just getting in there, not thinking about it. You're not going to come here and then come immediately here.
Right.
You're going to always have a sharp edge next to a beveled edge.
Right.
That's the best way to look at it. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
Mark?
Absolutely.
All right.
So, how much would you charge for a stack stone?
I'm going to charge depending on the area that I am at in the United States, is what the market in that area is what's going to depict what I'm going to charge, probably. But I'm probably going to be somewhere within $16 to $18 a square foot, $16 to $20 a square foot for most dry stacks.
In Arizona,
In Arizona, it's going to be higher.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
hot.
I mean, you're cultured stone and you're a real rock.
it's real stone, and you know for real stone, dry stack or stack stone, whatever they call it,
Right?
they start at $22.
That's exactly right. And being that we are, what are we? We are a continuous manufactured stone system. Okay? So we are a type of cultured stone. We're just culturing it right on the surface, on the job site, simultaneously creating all these different looks. In your corners, you don't do too many, you don't overthink it, and then just keep working along with it.
Any of these corners, we want to make them a little bit wider.
And see, that's a preference. If you're going to do that, then you would probably do a whole project by widening it out. What we're trying to do is more just make a dry stack. Just stack stones.
That's the point, you know, how often would you get a perfectly cut rock that's don't.
Well, your actual rocks were cut.
Yeah.
And they will be cut perfectly out of a quarry.
That's right.
And they would stack right directly on top of each other.
Yeah, it needs more cuts on the bottom.
All right, come in. Let's do it. Just come in. run it and slice and pull. Okay. We're gonna take a, you wanna try it, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, let him do a little bit, yeah.
That's what the last one.
And it's your first time too. And then you get in there and you're just smoothing out the surface. You know, Lawrence, this is the first time that we've used this little amount of material. I think we need to do it every single time and just,
To get that depth. you know?
yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Got a half inch on there?
Maybe take that corner off right there. You got that corner off, right? Maybe come down this whole side a little bit and get this one exposed. Nice. Flip it off, yeah, just
Piece of cake, man.
piece of cake.
Looks good though. You know, and if,